Yo, 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 welcome back to the Hulaham Hour. We're going back to the basics, Nick. What up?
Nothing, man. Another glorious day, starting to warm up a little bit.
Dude, it can warm up yesterday. Let's kick it. Football season's over. Like I could be any more winterly depressed. Super Bowl was great. It was a good game to watch. We'll get into that here in a minute. Yeah, how's it going this week, Nick?
It's going great, man.
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather for those of you that can't tell. I was fine as of yesterday, and today it's been whooping my ass. So if I seem a little off today, there is my disclaimer. Welcome back, though. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how wrong that we are in the comments. But, yeah, dude, let's get into it. Still cleaning up my mess for my Super Bowl party that Nick's telling me I probably won't be able to have next year because it's on Valentine's Day. So
Those weren't the exact words.
But you know, I do love my wife more than I love anything except for my child. And, you know, yeah, so we'll just have to cross that bridge in a year, but who knows?
Sounds like double the party. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, leave the kids at home this time. No, it was a great party. Thanks for everybody that came out. It's good to get back into the swing of things. The last couple of years I took off between not living here and building the house and my child being born last year, a couple months after, or a couple months before, excuse me, Super Bowl. So I just want to shout out my wife and everybody that came to make that happen. So, yeah. All right. Let's get into it. For those of you that don't know, and according to our thumbnail, this is your all-in-one pit stop for all your Super Bowl coverage if you've not gotten it already, because I know with us only doing it once a week, we're a little Internet Explorer up in this bitch. So, Seahawks took it 29-13. I think I had 14 different squares bets going on. None of them hit. I did my bet on the actual straight-up Seattle winning did win, though, which was nice because I did put a chunk of change on that one. But yeah, dude, when your defense is nicknamed the dark side, which I am so pumped for Tom Grassi's video to come out because he's had the Patriots as like the evil people from Star Wars, and now it's the Seahawks, so he's gonna have to switch. I'm so pumped. Tune into Tom Grassi. I don't know I think he made it live either yesterday or today. It's gonna be a great one. It's gonna wrap up the season for NFL Scripted. And yeah, he's also he may have started already. I'm not 100% sure. If he's not started it already, he will be starting it very soon. He will be live streaming 24/7 until he raises $1 million. Can't remember the charity off the top of my head, but I know it's something to do with people helping to pay medical bills. So yeah, go support Tom. I know I did last year. Tuned into a lot of his stream, donated. It's a great cause. I did some research before we launch into the Super Bowl talk with Tom Grassi. He has reached 1 million subscribers, which is a feat on YouTube that I, aspire to achieve someday. But this man has done it without taking a dollar from sponsors, without doing any promotions in any of his videos. He's not like, "Hi, I'm Tom Grassi. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh." Nope, none of that. He's reached 1 million subscribers off of just genuine, edited himself content. And Tom, for that, I think you're the only one on YouTube, dude. I think you are the only one. I did some research. I don't know that there's anybody else that's hit 1 million subs without promoting something in some way, shape, or form and taking a pay for it. So congrats. All right. Give me your overall synopsis, Nick, on the Super Bowl, and then I've got some burning topics that I want to discuss on it too. But give me your overall take on it, man.
That Super Bowl went exactly how I thought it would go.
Yep.
Drake May has not spent that much time on his back since he was a little kid.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Francisco Mendoza, if you're watching, this is what you're going to look like every game. Just throwing that out there. But honestly, it was just kind of brutal. I mean, if it weren't for Christian Gonzalez, that game would have been way worse than what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, what a hell of a defensive back.
Yeah, when you can't really they're showing the Patriots defense on the sideline half of the game just looking frustrated as shit that we're doing everything we can. Because really they only gave up 3 scores essentially. Yeah. I mean, well, they gave up a shit ton of field goals. But in all reality, the Seahawks had a pick 6, so there's 7 points off, so that's 22-13. I mean, Seattle's defense is just that good. But if you look back the last 3 years, it's number 1, the number 1, and the number 2 defense. That's won the Super Bowl. And shout out Mike McDonald, first ever head coach to win a Super Bowl while calling defensive plays, which is insane.
That's gangster.
It is like the G'est of G's shit you can do. So that's super, super cool. Very happy for him. I seen a clip of him today when the clock's at 0 and he realized that he'd won. And you can kind of see his body leave his body. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of and it was almost like he was watching himself from above himself kind of thing. And that's the reaction of a man that that has literally dreamed of that exact moment since he was a little kid and able to achieve it. It's pretty nuts. So, yeah.
Shout out to Marcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
Literally, he had his interview. I love Dallas. This is my home for my family. But I know I'm not going to win a Super Bowl here. And what does he do the next year? Wins one in Seattle.
Yep. Yeah. Poor Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold, dude. Did you see any of the clips and footage of them at Disney the next day?
I saw a little bit of it.
They were so fucking hungover. They were so...
Oh, duh.
But, dude, they got to put those people... They got to put them on rides. They're doing interviews. They got to go on the parade, all this shit. Them poor guys. But Kenneth Walker, I think... Prove me if I'm wrong, Nick. Best Spartan to ever come out of Michigan State, football-wise.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd say Le'Veon was better, honestly.
He didn't win a Super Bowl MVP.
No, but I also think Jason Myers should have won the MVP.
He also didn't. Kenneth Walker comes with about 0 drama. Yeah. Did you see the whole bit about his
player?
Yeah, he's a great football player. But I guess if you want to say talent-wise, yeah, maybe Le'Veon Bell had a better season or 2 than Kenneth Walker, but Kenneth Walker will have a way better career than Le'Veon Bell ever fucking dreamed of. So,
how ironic though, they got a Michigan State backfield.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Kenneth Walker actually wore 26 on his wrist. I thought was really nice, so that got to pay homage to your homie. But that was Kenneth Walker's father's first professional football game that he's ever witnessed in person. I don't know if you've seen anything on this, but his agent actually had to call his dad to coax him into coming. And the man hates crowds. But, at some point, they ain't getting any bigger stage than this, dude. And honestly, that ticket probably cost more than it would be for you to go see every home game for him for an entire season or 2 or 3 or 4. So, yeah, pretty nuts. Sam Darnold's story is incredible. He's the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl that's on his 5th different team. It's kind of nuts to think about. Do you know how many active quarterbacks right now, Nick, have a Super Bowl ring?
5.
Yep. Which is pathetic. I'm sorry. As a league that's competitive, that's terrible. It's god-awful. It's fucking terrible. Something needs to be done about it. So, if you had to pick...
5 that included Aaron Rodgers, old ass.
Yep. So, if you had to pick 3 teams that made the postseason this year that are not going to make it next year, who would those 3 teams be?
Ooh, right off the top of my head. Ooh, Carolina, definitely.
Yep.
I could see them regressing.
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And got a third one.
See if you hit my third one, because you've hit my first 2. Third one's debatable. But if I'm throwing a third name out there, it's going to be the Chargers. I think they will get better with Mike McDaniel. However, I think it's going to take more than a season. He's not just going to come in there and play Jesus and make Justin Herbert Jesus. It's not gonna happen.
So I was thinking in the same division, but I'm thinking Denver.
You
Them
know,
getting rid of all their coordinators, that could be good or bad. It could get worse.
yeah, and Seattle losing Kubak, that's huge. But we'll see. I mean, you got two sides of the coin. You got the Eagles 2 years ago that lost both their coordinators and then won the Super Bowl the following year, and then you have teams like Detroit that lost both their coordinators and finished last in their division.
See, but like the Eagles system, they do this every year. They cycle coordinators and 90% of their defense, and they still end up back in the playoffs.
Yep. There was a streaker, too. I love that everybody calls it a streaker. The dude was not naked. He had pants on. I'll give him props that he actually strapped a GoPro to himself, and then once he got bailed out of jail, uploaded the footage, which
I saw that.
Wildly hilarious.
What's even funnier is like he was running away from security until he saw that fucking Patriots wide receiver, and he's like, "Fuck that!"
Yeah, I'm not about to get leveled by some professional athlete.
I'm out of here.
At least he had friggin' brains enough to not do that. Do you remember the story? And I'm going to get some of this wrong, but a few years ago, you can bet if there's going to be someone run on the field or not. Like that's a bet.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that was at the game that had put like 20 grand down on someone running, and no one had ran yet. So he hopped his ass down there, ran, got arrested, won the bet, cashed out for a couple $1,000,000, and fucking bailed himself out.
Dude, did you see the ingenuity, though? He set up a decoy 20 foot to his left.
Yeah.
That's how he got on the field. Somebody jumped onto the field like 20 feet to the left of him, and then he got down after security swarmed, and he just bolted.
Yep.
I'll admit the guy was pretty quick.
I wonder what the fine for that is.
Oh, that's probably pretty hefty.
Well, I wouldn't even think that the fine's hefty, but the fact that you're never going to come to an NFL game ever again.
Well, it's the second year he's done it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
He did
that.
it last year.
Did he really?
Yeah, so his advertising is his blog he does.
Oh, shit. All right, I knew he was an influencer, but all right. Stop knocking cables out.
I didn't knock it out this time. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, no, I know he was some sort of TikTok influencer or some shit, but I didn't know. That's crazy to do it more than once.
Yeah, I can't believe he's not going to sit in jail for a while.
Yeah, he might this time. I mean, one more and
Dude,
he's
I mean-
habitual.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Habitual streaker.
With pants on.
Yeah.
That's got to be funny in court, though. Like, so you were streaking, sir? No, sir.
Yeah, you were
No.
incorrect. I was
I
running.
had pants.
I was just trespassing.
Yeah, this was
Your
my
Honor.
jogging suit.
Yeah,
I jog in this every morning.
it's wild. All right, so speaking of Kubiak did the day after the Super Bowl, didn't even celebrate it with his team, just flew right to Las Vegas and got introduced as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Good luck. I mean, on paper, you've got some skill players and a quarterback and a running back. You don't have a wide receiver, though, and you don't have a line on either side. You're losing Max Crosby. There was a headline on released the other day, whether it's true or not, because Max Crosby has openly come out and said, "Do not believe anything you read about me unless it came out of my mouth only." But someone that is inside the Raiders facility has reported that Max Crosby looked Tom Brady in the face and said, "I will never play for the Raiders again."
Well,
So,
we'll see.
yeah, money talks. Myles Garrett proved that. So,
Yeah, and then he wins Defensive Player of the Year. So
breaks sack. Yeah, he's going to be the only Cleveland Brown that gets put in the Hall of Fame by accident in the next 50 years.
Won't be anybody from the offense. That's for damn sure.
God, no, I don't know, dude. Watch your mouth. Stupider shit's been happening.
Don't even say his name.
I'm not, but
Don't do it.
Now, Joe Flacco should get in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He should though.
He should. He
got
won a Super Bowl.
win. He
Played
had a
very,
good career.
very, very good career. Never in bad tabloids. Wasn't, jerking off to masseuses and shit.
He's
So,
always been a stand-up dude.
yeah, me too.
He reminds me a lot of Big Ben.
A little
They
bit.
had a lot of similar playing style. It was fun to watch them two battle it out.
It was for a long time. Sure was. All right. So, yeah, fun Super Bowl. very, very, it's a lackluster feeling that football's done. We're without football for another. Our first Red Zone weekend again is 207 days from now. Next week we'll be 20% done with the offseason of fantasy football. And before you know it, we're going to be getting into our fantasy football picks. Way too early. Who do you got your first 3 draft picks in fantasy football next year?
Again, way too early, and depends on where you fall. I think Bijan will go 1.
Okay. It's not a bad one.
I don't know if Gibbs will go as high. I think people are still going to question the offense. I think
still think he'll be
a
up
first
there.
Rounder.
Yep.
I just don't know if he'll be top 5.
So, bold take. I think it's not a bad move to take Kenneth Walker in the first round next year because I think he's going to get a lot more touches now that they saw what he could do without Charbonnet. But with that being said, like JSN might be number 1.
That's very possible.
JSN won me this trophy, dude. Like 110%. I had JSN and Gibbs. Gibbs had 5 fucking points in my championship game. He did not win me that championship. JSN did. So I could see JSN going number 1 overall. I'm trying to remember the last time that our leagues have had a wide receiver go number 1. And it's been a long time.
No, I feel like Jamar Chase went 1 year.
Yeah, but it's been 2 or 3 years. It's been
it's not a long time.
It's a long time to me. But anyway, so now our Sundays are dedicated to golf, which is great. We'll get into some golf here in a little bit, but I'd like to kind of rewind. I would like to start with our topic that's in our thumbnail so you guys can get some instant validation. But I can only talk about one football game for so long before I not only bore you guys, but myself as well. So with that being said, I'd like to move on to the NFL honors. I'm just going to call a spade right out the gate. I think it was a great show. They knocked it out of the park in 2 hours. They had some performances from some famous people. People dressed up to the nines. There's a couple segments I think they went a little too far on, like homegirl having a fashion contest between some players and shit. That was a little unnecessary. But my number one complaint was that, and I don't know why this is not being talked about more. Maybe it's just a big deal to me, and I'm just being whiny about it. But you're telling me that they were using Madden footage for highlights for the players that were up for awards. You're telling me that the best players in the NFL don't have enough footage of real-life play to make a fucking compilation of their careers to show at the NFL honors? What's your take on that?
I know. I thought it was kind of crazy. Like, they have a whole film roll of fucking plays.
They have a whole division called NFL Films that literally records every game, takes every camera angle, and puts it in the archives. These lazy fucks didn't want to go digging for footage. They just flat out were like, we can make it Madden.
Nah, I think, EA sponsored most of that event, and I'm thinking that might have just been part of the contract where they're like, this is what we're doing.
Well, again, another stupid-ass move from EA Sports. You guys are the worst company on planet Earth, and I hope you lose your goddamn exclusive license soon. Soft Drink TV, please get at us. We'd love to have you as a guest. I love your content. I agree with everything you say about every sports game. That's why I just spent a couple $100 on some old-school PS3 frickin' NBA, MLB, all the good shit, dude. PS2, PS3 era sports games, best by far. I think we need to have a special episode this summer where we talk about just that. Just like screw all the other sports going on. We're just going to talk about sporting games because I got a lot to say. And maybe long shot we do get Soft Drink on here. It'd be really great. We'd love to have you, dude. I know we're a way smaller channel than you are, but getting like-minded people together to put out content could really be impactful. So get at us. All right, moving right along. It's Matt Stafford. That's the highlight. Won MVP. I thought he only won by 1 vote. He ended up winning by 3, which not that matters. You win, you win. But he brought his 4 daughters. When he brought his 4 daughters up on stage, I knew he was going to announce that he was coming back. I was like, he's not. You don't just pull a stunt like this. Like, not that it's a stunt. I know he loves his daughters and whatnot, but like, and if I'm one of his daughters, I'm like, but Daddy, you told me you'd play with me more. You know. But I know wholeheartedly that he told nobody, because the reaction on Sean McVay's face tells you everything that you need to know. He's like, I don't have to draft a shitty quarterback this year. You know, like, just almost crying and like, yeah, it was great.
No, he's thinking, there isn't a shitty quarterback to draft this year.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. Puka, how do you feel about playing freaking quarterback? Just throw it to yourself. They introduced a new award, the Protector of the Year or whatever. I forget who won that. I'll have to look it up. I should have.
Joe Thurney.
Thank you. If I make it through this episode without throwing up, that'd be great. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year. I wasn't a fan of McMillan winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, I'm not taking that from him. Great season and everything, but my heart was with Tyler Shough.
He had a solid year all year, though.
Yep, I know. Well, Tyler Shough would have, too, if fucking Spencer Rattler wasn't such a faggot.
He's the only reason the Panthers fucking made the playoffs.
Yeah, it's very true. Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year, which, again, you can argue. I mean, to the turnaround he did in New England, you cannot deny that he's definitely the Coach of the Year. But, again, with what Kyle Shanahan was able to do with a practice squad team, yeah, he had Christian McCaffrey, but still, like, Mac Jones played a fourth of the year. I don't know. So, but, you know, if you're San Francisco, dude, you got to be a little salty about literally fucking watching your division rival go into your home stadium and win the ship. Like, that's got to not set well. Speaking of Christian McCaffrey, he won Comeback Player of the Year.
I don't even know who else you would pick besides him for that. I mean,
there really wasn't anybody with his kind of story. And, I mean, he was the number one running back in the league and came back from that injury, and stayed healthy the whole year. He didn't have a game that he didn't play. So
next year he's getting hurt. Seems like every other year.
Yeah, be weary. The fact that Mike Vrabel won it and they had to tell him ahead of time, and then they filmed his acceptance speech because he wasn't going to be at the awards because it's Super Bowl. The fact that they can keep that under wraps for 24 hours is pretty impressive. You know, I mean, in today's day and age, dude, the coffee boy hears about it. He's getting on Twitter, and he's going to tell the world. So
You know what's even more impressive? The fact that you can literally practice for your speeches, and you can still call him Mike Verbal twice and intentionally do it.
Yeah, and then Drewski calling JSN the N-word. Like, what a dumbass, dude. If I was Barry Sanders, I'd have probably cold-cocked that fucker. I'm not a fan.
He had to be like, what the fuck?
I don't know what that guy's done to get famous, but when Snoop Dogg calls you out on your shit, you're kind of a piece of shit, dude. So
Did you see the celebrity game? I saw a clip of this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Deion Sanders ripped him a new asshole.
Did he?
He goes, I just want to tell you, you suck. If you were anywhere near me on a field, I'd take your keys, I'd take your car, I'd take your house, and I'd tell you to get the fuck out.
Good. That Snoop Dogg had to do that. They were doing like a video shoot or some shit, and Snoop Dogg's like, you get close to me one more time, I'm going to fuck you up. And he's like, what? It's like, chill. You know, I don't know. Never liked him. Never have. Not a fan. Keep him off. Keep him away from the NFL. What? He's an out-of-shape, fucking never played professional sports guy. What the fuck is he doing there? Besides for views for young kids, that's the only reason that I can see that. So, yeah. Anyways.
And a weird pairing.
Yeah, JSN won an Offensive Player of the Year. That one. What's that?
I said, what a weird pairing for a speech, because Barry's such a classic, calm dude.
And he's got class, too. And
Very.
And that guy don't. So, all right. AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schlesinger. Yeah, that one was good. Caleb Williams, game-winning Hail Mary. Bobby Wagner winning NFL Man of the Year. In his speech that he gave, he wasn't going to come, and his agent was like, you got to go. You're going to be the only one out of all 32 teams to not show up. And then he wins. I think that, all things aside with the Belichick situation, the Robert Kraft situation, I think the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class is one of the strongest ever this year. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, and maybe I'm just a little bit sentimental because now I'm seeing players that I grew up as a child get inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I can say like I got to watch almost every game that Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, and Luke Kuechly and Adam Vinatieri played.
Yeah.
I remember when Adam Vinatieri kicked that field goal against the Rams to win that first Super Bowl. I'll never forget. Like I was pretty young, and we wanted to watch the Super Bowl, and we go to turn it on, and we had Dish Dish Network at the time, and my dad wasn't subscribed to local channels, so we literally had to like call Dish Network on Super Bowl Sunday and have them fucking add our local channel so we could watch that Super Bowl, and we didn't really get to tune into like halfway through the second quarter. And but that was I can almost pinpoint that game was what gave me my love of football. I remember going out and having my mom buy me a Madden game like the next day and really started playing it hard. And, Adam Vinatieri is the number one scorer all time in the NFL. And he should have probably been in before this. Or was this his first year of eligibility?
I'm not sure on that.
It's got to be close, dude, because he played up until like COVID, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm not 100% of you as a first
and
ballot.
It's 5 years, so that would check out. All right. Glad Nick's having a great day technology-wise today. See if we can't get through the rest of this episode here. All right. Well, while we're waiting for Nick to come back, because I'm not editing this, I do not have it in me tonight to do that. So, okay. Well, while we're waiting for him to come back, I think that wraps up the NFL honors talk. That wraps up the Super Bowl talk. And for Brian's counter, that's 2 times today. What's the over-under? Tell me in the comments. All right. Well, that's going to... Wish Nick was here to do the wrap-up with me, but I think that is going to wrap up our NFL conversations for the 2025-2026 season. We're going to move right along into some golf talk. We had some TGL happen. We had some PGA happen. There he is. Wow, I'm buying you a new computer for your birthday. Anyways, moving right along, not dwelling on it. We're wrapping up our football talk for the 2025-2026 season. And any of our football talk from here on out, it's going to be about next year because it's a new year. I don't care that the official new year doesn't start till like March 13th or something. Nah,
yeah.
It starts right now. My fantasy prep starts now. I am going to be defending this title. I'm gonna have to get a bigger desk for next year. I'm just gonna say it right now because I'm bringing this one back, and I'm gonna bring another one back. So with that being said, also sidebar, shout out Mike Bush. You might have hesitated a little bit. However, you did successfully do your polar plunge over the Birchville weekend. I was there as your hype man with a sign and everything. We had about half of our league show out for it. So congrats, Mike. I hope next year when you're drafting, or this year when you're drafting, that you remember how cold that water was the entire time and every pick that you make. Because in all reality, Ryan Ladley, you had the worst team. Mike Bush should not have jumped, and you should have jumped. We need to look at changing the rules for last place because, Mike, your team was way better than last. Sorry. Not sorry, Ryan. Maybe you should have just jumped in tandem. I don't know. All right. With that being said, moving right along. We'll start with some TGL. Neil Shipley. Nick messaged me the other night. He's like, God, I hate that I forget about TGL every time it's on. And I'm like, thanks for the poke, because I did too. Turn it on, and I'm not super paying attention. being honest. Kind of have it on in the background. I was doing some work and stuff, and for some reason, something went, hey, you should watch. And I stopped what I was doing, and I turned my head to the television, and Neil Shipley got a hole-in-one. Was this the first hole-in-one in TGL, right, I believe?
Yep.
We had the Albatross, which is crazy we got an Albatross before we got a hole-in-one, really. But 2 years ago, Neil Shipley was an amateur at the Masters. And on Sunday, got paired up to play in the morning with Tiger Woods. Imagine being an amateur, growing up your whole life, being 20 years old, and then you're like, hey, man, I know you're already under a lot of pressure that you're playing in the Masters, but your partner that you're playing with today is Tiger Woods. I would shit my pants. I might actually jizz in my pants a little bit too, but I would totally shit him. Now he's been poached by the Bay. He's got his card. He's been playing some really good golf and gets the first hole-in-one on TGL in his first appearance on TGL. I don't know. Give me your thoughts on the TGL match.
Well, it was actually a pretty decent match. I think the score is a little more lopsided than what it showed.
Yeah.
I mean, the last hole they ended up taking the other two, but I don't know. You got a doubleheader coming up in a couple weeks, and I think this year they kind of shook it up this year.
Yeah, we got back-to-back doubleheaders and back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Which, that's great. I love that. I've got all night.
Well, they're off next week.
Yep, they're off next week, and then it's 2 weeks in a row that they, I really like that a lot of sports do respect the Olympics. I'd have to guess that's why they're taking some time, personally. I mean, Pat McAfee's taking some time off. We're not. We'll be here.
I just think it's odd they got the same team playing twice in one night.
I wonder if they're going to switch up the partners and stuff. You know what I mean?
There's only 4.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying, but only 3 play, right?
Yeah, so you can only switch up one.
Well, all right. Then who was it that was saying they were getting an earful from being kicked off the team recently and then came out and had just a phenomenal round? Who was that?
Kevin Kisner, but Tiger Woods ain't healthy. So who are you going to swap? He's still on their team.
Yep. I'm ready to see Tiger play, though.
I am too, and Justin Thomas still isn't fully healthy. So if their team is one of them, then he's not going to be playing in the back-to-back. Yeah.
But it's good to see them get some new guys in this year. I was really happy about that, getting Neil Shipley and getting Thor Jarbinson in, getting stuff like that in. And the Bay, like you said, the Bay ended up winning that match. Again, all things aside, if you've not tuned into a TGL match by now, just do yourself a favor and watch. If you like it, which I know you will, great. If you don't, take up knitting or stamp collecting or never mind. I don't want to get us banned on YouTube. All right. So the rowdiest tournament in golf also happened over the weekend. Nick, you got to watch a little bit more of that as I was hosting the Super Bowl. You were at home chilling watching that. You actually said it was so good, which I agree with you, that you would have muted the Super Bowl and kept golf on until golf finished because it went into a playoff. So break it down for us, brother.
Dude, so coming down the stretch, Scotty Scheffler made an amazing run. He only finished one shot off the lead. Mm-hmm. He started the day at 8 under. He finished 14.
Yep, that's huge. But we expect nothing less out of him at this point.
No, but then got her up. He ends up birdieing 18 to put him up one on Scotty to come in. So no matter what, he was up. And Matsuyama, all he had to do was coast, and he hit 2 fairways the entire day, including bogeying 18 to force the playoff.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, dude. Very rough indeed.
And he's a 2-time winner there. He's very well at that course.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't play terribly difficult, but it doesn't play very easy either. The 16th hole is incredible. I'm kind of torn to my feelings on the tournament as a whole. I think that I love that there's energy. I love that there's passion shown, but these fuck boys that want to show up and pay all this money to come and yell and then get kicked out, you have no place. You are not welcome. You go. That's what Live started for. Live is a goddamn dubstep concert with a golf tournament. Okay? You want to yell, you want to get drunk, you want to act a fool, go to Live. Go watch Live while it's still here because the days are numbered. But when you show up to a PGA event, name me another sport where everyone that comes to watch that sport dresses like they're ready to play that sport. There's not another thing out there. Not one. And I think Nick froze. Yep. Well, Nick's having some big technical difficulties, so we're going to see if he can get back on here, but we're going to be wrapping this episode up here for a couple of reasons. One, because I feel like shit, and two, because Nick needs a new computer. All right. Well, all right, well, I'm going to play some Jeopardy music while we figure this out. Yeah, gotta love it. Streamlabs, do better. That's all I gotta say. All right. Well, I don't think we're getting Nick back because now he's telling me that his stream won't pull up. So, fuck. That sucks. Okay. Well, with that being said, all right, well, I'm going to do this. All right, well, just bear with us, people. Send a new link. I'm going to just send Nick a new link and see if we can't get Nick back on to finish this episode because I'm ready to go to bed. I've had a day, and yeah. All right. Well, until Nick gets back, enjoy me. All right. Back to my waste management comments. Whoop. Back to business here. I'm a purist of the game, and I really enjoy the energy that waste management brings. However, they gotta figure out a way to stop it with these kids, and you know, like someone dropping a chair and Matsuyama's backswing is insanely ridiculous. I just don't know what the answer is there, but it is the only tournament that gets like that. I mean, going to the Rocket Classic last year, the pavilion I was in was definitely rowdy, but we never ever once crossed a line where any official had to tell us to be quiet, where anybody came over and said you guys are being rude and out of line. All right, we got him. Maybe the link was just dead. Anyways, I was just talking about how at the Rocket Classic when I was there last year, how, you know, we were rowdy, but never once was there someone kicked out. Never once was an official have to tell someone to be quiet. You know, there's a level of you can still have fun and be respectful to the game, and the Phoenix Open needs to figure that out. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, because there's very few things you just don't do. You don't yell in people's backswings. I mean, there's not that many rules you need to follow to not be an ass.
Yeah, and as party central as Liv is, I don't think they're going to allow you to fucking yell during a backswing.
No, not at all. No one is.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just kind of wild, but they definitely need to do some more on that. So, and you know what? We followed Liv Golf last year, and I don't mind following it again this year, but do you have any idea who even freaking won last weekend?
What, the weekend before?
Oh, was it the weekend before? Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
What are you talking? Oh, Liv? No.
Yeah.
I have not paid any attention to that.
Me either, dude. I don't even know how they're going to keep scoring it with the fact that they're not... Was Brooks Koepka the captain of a team?
I'm not sure on that. I don't think so.
All right, well...
I don't know. I've tried watching it, and they just got too much going on.
Yeah, well, it looks like Ripper Golf Club won, and Elvis Smiley ended up winning, beat out John Rahm by 1 stroke. Uh, yeah. I don't know that, we'll touch on Live still, like, about this much still, but it's not LIV anymore. It's whatever the Roman numeral for 72 is. And they're losing players. I don't know. The time is just running out. Oh, that's new. When I used to go on the schedule on their website, this was never a thing, and they have a spot now. They're looking for people to help them out. Volunteer for Live, get hired by Live. They're trying to put all these big name dude. They're struggling. The writing is on the wall, Live, and I think you need to. I think they need to throw in their towel before it becomes a complete and utter disaster to where all these players are suing them for money, and I don't know. It's getting nasty, so we'll see. All right, but yeah, Chris Gotterup won that Waste Management Open. Chris Gotterup is on a tear. He's also playing in TGL now too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Who's he playing with?
For Atlanta, I do believe.
All right, it's kind of what I thought, yeah. So, yeah, really looking forward to next week because I think you said Rory's back too, right?
Yep, he's defending the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Yes, that's what it is. The AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am starts tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. Who you got?
Rory hasn't played yet this year. He looked pretty good in TGL. I'm going to think Rory's going to defend.
Yeah, and I did see a video today. They did their practice round today. And Rory, the wind is just horrendous right now, like really bad. I mean, the flags are standing straight up,
I love it.
And Rory eagled a par 5.
Yeah, he's shooting good golf right now.
He is. He's dialed. He's locked. It's hard to bet against him. Scotty's playing too, though, right?
Yeah, I think everybody's playing this week.
Oh, boy. This is not good. Ooh, all right. Well, I'm going to take Scotty. You take Rory. All right. Red Wings are still on hiatus. Going to just touch on the fact that the Pistons had a brawl. Was it yesterday, right?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. Bless you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're still atop the East, but, they did snap the Hornets' 9-game win streak, which is cool. But on an unrelated note to the Pistons, I messaged you earlier today to say, is the NBA going to just exile the Utah Jazz? Did you see their tank last night, what they did?
No, they probably pulled everybody.
They did, dude. They're up by 20 going into the fourth quarter, and they benched their starters for the entire fourth quarter and lost the game.
I'm going for that number one.
When it's that blatantly obvious, dude, there's got to be some penalty. There does.
I think it's just fines. It's not much in the NBA.
There needs to be more than that. Like, for every game that we watch you do that in, you get one less percentage chance or one less draw in the lottery or some shit. That's just not even cool, dude. And like last year it was the Cooper Flag contest, right? Like Cooper Flag was the anonymous number 1 pick, no matter who got the number 1 pick, right? Who's that this year?
Yeah. There's a couple good names, but there's no Cooper Flag.
That's what I'm saying. So why wouldn't they have done this last year?
No, they thought they had a chance last year compared to this year.
Guess so. It's just kind of embarrassing. So hopefully the NBA gets that fixed. But yeah, all right. A little short on the episode this week, but again, I feel like shit. We only had one football game to talk about, and we're gonna be getting into a whole lot more golf talk coming up these next few weeks. I think if I remember right, it was around June and July that we start our series back into fantasy football, back into the full swing of things on NFL. So we'll have pretty much, March, April, and May. That's going to be golf and basketball and hockey. So we will have a little bit more Olympic coverage next week as the sports that we really want to cover on here. I guess, for those of you that don't know, poor Lindsey Vonn, coming out of retirement, tearing her ACL, coming back from it miraculously somehow to still ski and then break her leg in a totally unrelated, fall and crash from her ACL tear, so that sucks. But hopefully you can heal up and be able to walk still, because we have a Colombian friend that tore both his ACLs and still walks like he's got a stick up his ass. So, yeah. All right. With that being said, I am ready to rock. You got anything else this week, bro?
Nope.
All right. Thanks for hanging in there with us through our technical difficulties. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how wrong we are in the comments. Brian, don't forget to put the over-under on what you bet on this week for Nick dropping off. It was 2. We are Hulaham out.